We're closing in. No time left to stay in this building. You got to take the fight now or never. LCDF's Caustic Ult is massive, but losing Izzadent almost immediately means that their chances of making it out of this fight alive are almost zero. The pickup of Aurora is a big one, but remember, so many more teams are coming. 07 still needing to drop down, and LVH right above them. Surely that's the next 3v3 we take.
Once they all show their faces, it's just open range for Alliance to take shots at them. Infinite playing all right underneath them. 07 now taking the shots. Here comes the EMP. The Nox grenade coming out right on time to seek response. Get eliminated with the last 4 remaining teams. We knew it was going to be a bloodbath once all these squads are forced to coexist by the fence line.
LVH are just dripping out placement points now, but Alliance play for the win, sending it on to 2R1C. Have they waited too long? They've still got one wrap behind them, but I say that just as Infinite go down. Uchako's wingman's doing a lot of work, but with Macy down, now 2R1C can't reset. They lose Yarka as well, and it's just Uchako left holding literally the banner for 2R1C. Hammer Points takes out Alliance. LVH are coming in for the third party, and it's just Uchako left. Not enough against the 3-man swing of LVH.
LVH had to go through the trenches.
How many ordinances do Passion UA have left? Can you actually keep Portugal from peeking down at you? Because if not, Portugal have such a fantastic place from which to win this game. Passion UA with a Kraber in hand can change that, but it's not enough. Just a lot of damage. And unfortunately for Passion UA, with a team beneath them, it's not enough to push them. Instead, they're going to have to take the 3v3, 50-50ing it all for their chance of the next zone. And while they will finish the fight, it's OMIT that take the win. Made in Heaven swinging onto Cybercats, and you know who's chilling? It's Team Portugal, who just wait and watch all of this happen. The Cybercats are decimated, dipping back into the zone, and Cinetic should clean up another kill, pushing Made in Heaven into fourth place.
Made in Heaven, though, barely miss out on their initial drop and find themselves with a similar heal situation as Cinetic makes a return now. A final 3v3. Made in Heaven coming out far more healthy, and Portugal with much less space than expected. With one down, it's a 2v2 now.
Down. Made in Heaven have lost one already, and they can't actually effectively siege Team Portugal over or under the truck. There's too much cover here. Kashera's gone down. It's a 2v2, and Cinetic's getting full set even as he hits for Flesh. Gets one knock, almost finds a second. It's Cinetic on 15 HP that clutches the game for Made in Heaven.
For Made in Heaven, a clutch against all, even with tax down here, are able to find...
As we get this wide overview, both teams trying to find the advantage. Made in Heaven have a little bit of space there, but everyone positioning for this final fight.
So smart from LVH here to give that fight up. Had they taken that there, it was the perfect setup for Made in Heaven. They instead take advantage of their repositioning to try and collapse on what they assumed was going to be pressure between these two rosters and give away what is considered God spot. Now, the fight between Made in Heaven and 07, that's what has been trained, manipulated by the likes of LVH here.
And it's just common sense for them. Let's go ahead and try to find the most points possible in a situation. We played a top 3. Let's get top 2. Or let's get a few more KP. LVH doesn't seem like anybody wants to challenge them. They could all sign a peace treaty and say, let's go for the team in the actual spot where the game is going to end. But 07 get the worst end of that trade. And the bargaining does not go their way. It is LVH. They have been at the top of this lobby. They have dominated since we've seen them so far today. And from range, LVH will claim another victory here on Storm Point, and they're almost at match point.
Side here, Go Next have a great position. My eyes are on if they have that EMP for this next fight. The circle closing in around their backs here before that final circle right after this one comes out.
And remember the Kraber. Aurora, of all things, have a Kraber that can change the end game. A single shot from that could put Go Next or Passion in the ground, and Passion are wrapping on low ground. Passion are taking the fight up against Go Next, giving Aurora all the time and space in the world. An early defensive crypto ult from Go Next forces them to take the fight back onto Passion. pushing the low ground. And you know what that means, Vicky? It means Aurora are coming in for the win.
They are playing for second place, and Aurora's playing for the dub, as we always have, only leaving Bambino. It's just a matter of time. And Aurora, they take the game, and they take all the extra points. Not that they need it, but the dub that they grab from game number 4 before we transition onto World's Edge. Made in Heaven are 1 point away to sit at match point. This could be it here. Huge nades. Max Strafey sending out that nade from the distance. Now trying to take his last Graver shot. Misses with the pole being right there. They do feel a little bit of the pressure there. Made in Heaven are out of this lobby. Were they able to get that final life point? We're going to have to see with 4 squads left. Passion UA were right behind Made in Heaven, by the way. They had 32 points in total before going into this game, sitting in 4th place.
Now there are 4 squads, all with a very good chance to win. OMIT, though, going low, are at the mercy of Passion UA. Both teams have to keep high ground. Passion have a little bit more cover, but is that not enough?
No.
Another wingman knock comes in, and OMIT surely have the advantage, but can no longer cross the bridge to finish off this squad. Instead, OMIT will have to drop down into the full English and into Infinite, into the meat grinder that exists in this canyon.
The slow rotate of the circle helping them out. The EMP's coming in and a huge scan from Lufka right here. Blast on the high ground. The nades are being set in their direction, having to avoid the Bangalore ult. The Arc Stars now as they drop down. Passion UA are out. Full English playing up the low ground. It is Full English versus Infinite right now. And Infinite, with their patient play off the canyon, they take the dub at the very end of the day.
Out of the low ground, no less. That was a fantastic move from Infinite to take.
And Aurora now are trying to take this 3v3 fight versus Passion.
It's not much of a 3v3 at this point here, and Oirine, even though he falls, has found the cracks necessary for the remnants of this roster to pick things up. They've got the cover and space to boot, but for Made in Heaven, this is the advantage they look for here. A minor revive is stuck out, but the smoke, it's too hard for Tax to see through. Arctic sends it forward.
And the last 3 squads are fighting here. Made in Heaven get eliminated. It is Aurora versus OMIT, and they had way more distance to cross before they could try to third party this. 9 Impulse, though, literally won. They get the first knock. OMIT have the body advantage, or so I thought, with Blast getting sent down. It is a 2v2 here, and OMIT are at the Evil Shield disadvantage versus Aurora.
They continue to wrap as Aurora gets reset out of a reset, but Lufka with the wingman from above finds the damage necessary, beams through the knockdown, and sets them up for their win in match 6.
And that is how you write some momentum, Zephyr. OMIT with the fight, and it was a 2v2 at the very end. They still had blues to work with here.
Probably like gonna land like fucking back. No, right here maybe. Back to the boxes maybe. Okay. Back to the boxes. Back to the boxes. Land on height. Land on height. Then fight this guy. Land on height. Right side. Watch out.
I'm done.
Fight this guy.
Look, correct. Coming.
110. Dead.
Stay alive, boys.
I'm buying.
Guy on me.
Dead.
Top left.
Break the fences, please.
Okay, on me.
No, full team.
Correct.
No, he's low.
Stay alive, Arctic.
No.
We're going to another game, Zephyr, as Made in Heaven go down. It's 07 who run the map from the edge, the very tip of the finger in North Pad. And a Hammer Point P2020 to finish it off. I cannot imagine what could possibly be more 07, more nasty than this, clinching it in Game 7 to send us to another round.
07 had set themselves up there as early as we remember looking at that zone, and in the end,
OMIT survive. OMIT, who are in a position to make land if they just stay alive. Managed to, with smokes and a nice bit of cover, at least keep it going for now, but a swing from the bottom takes out Blasts. OMIT from 4th place could still fall.
Navi now fully trying to send it here with Blast going down. Luca being alive. He pops a piece of the HUD. He's playing up the knockdown, but there's too much health on the other side while Light was trying to restabilize. Doesn't even have a shield back. He's forced to use the small shields. While Aurora still trying to take this fight against the Cita France off the low ground here.
Navi.
They're too distracted. Navi actually may sweep this India.
Oh no, but the lifeline is Horteki left standing! This changes everything! The split second that Navi took to wipe out OMIT let the reset happen for Hardeki, for Aurora.
The script writes itself. Aurora is looking to take another one home. Our last two teams, it is Navi versus Aurora, and Hardeki Lifeline has helped restabilize this whole team.
Lifeline re-enters the meta. Lifeline shatters EMEA, and Aurora win the regional finals here in EMEA, sending themselves to the playoffs in style.
There's a reason why this team is staying on top within EMEA. They already punched their ticket into LA to play for Split 1 LAN, and they're here to take the regional final while they were at it, Dia.
That was an incredible sequence of play, and in VOD review, Navi, OMIT are gonna watch that and go. And all you gotta do is Complexity is wait for Disguised and TSM to fight. It is inevitable. Disguised have very few options when it comes to how to engage. A portal is just too telegraphed, but a knock onto one member of Complexity does change this up. The forced exit from scaffolding lets DSG stay in power for so much longer. What do TSM do? This is a 3-team game. All of them have to be involved in how this end game plays out.
I'm just at least banking on these last two teams to try to grief each other, split some attention. This guy's taking the portal, and he manages to escape through, but he's a little bit outside the circle. He doesn't have time to reset here. He's gonna be forced to drop down after popping that shield back. Here comes Timmy. Design can't pop it off. He can't get his shield back to health, only leaving Enemy and Timmy here, but the Nox gas at the very end allowed Complexity to take the dub. They were in God spot, and they took advantage, winning our first game of the day.
DarkZero masters at setting themselves up for exactly positions like this, where you get to bully, where you get to wage a war of attrition on the lobby from an inaccessible point. I tell you what, watching them play Apex Legends, DarkZero does not make this game look fair.
They've got great position here in a height that will come down. Instead now for EEC, they'll find dropped a knock, which could ultimately spell the end for Optic, especially with DarkZero's target, but at least, hopefully, puts them now into the top 2 here.
Optic, after the drop down to take down one member of EEC, have opened the doors for DarkZero, who now own everything. The height, the low ground, the open space. It all belongs to DarkZero. And it's Zero and Sykes on the low ground that pull off a pincer maneuver for a winning game 2. You talk about it. There's very little space for these teams to play, but a bit of a rock outcropping right next to these buildings will provide the only temporary safety. You're really wishing you had a catalyst right around now, but nobody's got that particular benefit with DSG having been eliminated. It's all going to come down to Bangalore smokes for temporary cover and for control of the open space. Bloodhound ults are going to come at a premium, and SSG are not taking the gamble, instead pushing further and closer to Moist. Ultimately, pushing these teams together is just going to result in one of them going down. SSG rockets forward onto C9. How are they going to come out ahead of this, Vicky?
Especially with slow heals too. Look at Sino and Frex falling incredibly low. Phony now being incredibly one-shot. Space Station get eliminated. It is Moist now versus C9. A game that C9 desperately needed, and MT's looking out for blood. He climbs up above. He tries to take a different angle. They need some help though. MT and Guild are low, but Waltzy is clearing the lobby. He finds 2, and he wipes up the entirety of C9 by himself. Moist take game number 3.
What a gorgeous play. Now, C9 predicted the zone really well, but 2 of their members are on blues. They do not have the power spikes, really, of late game to be taking a full-on 3v3 and Exit. Well, they just don't have the position to be sitting there. I'm going to be real with you right now. Exit are a foregone conclusion as they get wiped off the map, and it's now TSM and C9 that hold the high ground. TSM's Evo shields are so much scarier as Imperial Hal takes onto the forefront. Legacy are just watching this happen, waiting for their chance to third party off of the low ground, because the zone is coming to them.
It's a perfect setup as the clean BOI comes into play as TSM are able to clutch up a rep caught out in front of them. Goes for the knock, but I like the switch of an angle, starting to look more towards Legacy, forcing C9 to maybe push into them instead.
They C9 swing Legacy, but they do not get a knock instead. Now they've overcommitted onto that side. Naughty's got no health. TSM have all the time in the world, and C9 go down as a duo with the high ground. TSM can still do nothing against Legacy, or is Hal going to clutch it? It's 1v1. Hal's got no shields, but a shield swap comes in. Jaguares has the health advantage. Hal's got to drop and take the fight, but Jaguares with the havoc from behind. The caustic barrel takes the win.
With no time to heal it up in the last moment.
Star in so many ways. When you think of Rambo, you think of the ability to show up and clutch. You think of the hair as well. We'll see if he's going to be celebrating after this. He's got a tough uphill battle here, but maybe he just might get a little lucky. And by that, I mean maybe Elev8 say, we want to play for something. We want to take matters into our own hands, and we're going to be the ones to push SSG. That means now they've taken 0 damage and gotten 3 kills, and it's Native who are late to the party. Elev8. Vicky, they're looking like they're going to try to do it, but it's 1 kill already from Lux30. And Elev8 Gaming, they're just trying to survive. Will Native have been able to push? Rambo grabs a second one, and Sap and Native Gaming will take the win. Rambo and squad will clutch it up yet again.
I don't know if it's due to the pressure, but Designful with no white health is driving me insane here. Hasn't been able to likely find the resource. And there you can see as we tune on down low, yes, nothing to be had here. A single caustic gas trap would be enough, but can he get, well, disguised to a position up upon the roof? Space Station Gaming are more than happy to welcome Disguised with open arms.
And getting that knock onto Design was huge. They finally found the rat that was Furia. Timmy cleans that up. Extra KP here for Disguise. And Space Station with the scan. See the team right below them. Chaos is ensuring now as 5 squads are left. Legacy on the other side, but Space Station have the high ground. Disguise playing outside the building on the low ground.
From above, though, this stack is so hard to navigate. Seconds to boot when we talk about having to make an exit here for SSG with no cover to even exist within. It's the perfect opportunity for them to drop in. Well, find themselves now lower than can be with Crook. JE on Orioles working their way out at the very end here. They're more than happy to clean things up, but don't have the time to reset as Legacy from above clean it up.
Legacy with the Game 6 win. But can we talk about all the teams that were still alive for that final circle?
And Legacy do not have to worry about anything. They've got so much more cover than a team like SSG on the low ground. A single member left, and Legacy will eventually have to pick one of 2 possible exits from this building. They can wait on that decision, however, as they're going to have plenty of squads exiting the lobby before then. TSM now have to decide, do they deal with LG first? Do they deal with Legacy first? Because the choice is theirs, but it is not an enviable one. The third parties are real in end games like this.
They're waiting for it, but this is something to come into question. The compositions. The Valkyrie doesn't have a lot of utility in end zone like this, even with her purple Evo Shield perk, but they do have the ability to get onto that high ground here as Verhos takes some shots at LG moving in. They're taking onto the low ground, and evac tower has been called in from Legacy. LG now are looking to slow rotate this, and with the smoke nade blocking their vision, TSM are trying to split their attention to the squad right below. Because if they take this evac tower, they can get right on top of them.
TSM can take the middle ground right now. They don't want to give up height too soon, but a huge Bangalore roll rips through TSM. Very low health bars, but they're still burning Luminosity, dropping onto the middle ground. It's TSM looking down on the clash of Legacy and Luminosity. Everyone knows they're on height, but they can't do much about it. Luminosity are hiding, Legacy are hiding, and eventually TSM are gonna have to come down. Hal throws in a nice shot with the Volt, and somehow, some way, the caustic gas wins it all, and TSM win on match point.
TSM, your NA Split 1 regional final winners.